Hello everyone, my name is Denise and today I'll be talking about this book, The Great Divorce by C.S. Lewis. Okay, so this book, although the title is The Great Divorce, it has nothing to do with marital divorce. It is rather a children's story about souls having an excursion from hell to heaven. So what they do, they go to a special bus stop, they board a bus and they will go into heaven. So yes, very interesting premise. Let me just dive right into it. There are three things that I really like. So the first thing is C.S. Lewis beautifully described how the souls changed. Okay, as they're in the bus, they were actually expanding in size. So when they finally got to heaven, they are bigger, but they are also not very substantial. So they are like ghosts, like you can see right through them. And because they're not so substantial, when they try to step on the grass, which are like the quality of heaven, the grass are like diamond to them, and every single step was excruciating for them. And it's like they can put all the effort to try to bend a grass or to even move a dewdrop, and they fail at it because they're just so unsubstantial. Okay, so it is quite interesting to me because it is a picture of how we all are when we are stuck in our sin. Because we are still human, but we're very unsubstantial. We have fallen. But okay, it's a very good caveat that comes with in this story is that these souls, once they get to this plane, which is like the gateway to heaven, they call it the valley of the shadow of life. The longer they stay, the harder they'll become, the more substantial. But that it will mean that every single moment when they're moving around in this place where they are just like ghosts, it's very painful for them, you see. So that so-called echoes my journey into becoming a Christian, because every single step was painful, was very counterintuitive. The world has taught me and brought me up in a certain way, and now I'm trying to become a certain other way. I'm on the flip side of the tapestry, so to speak. It's very difficult. You got to forget all the rules that you used to remember and adopt new set of rules. The world says chase after wealth, chase after fame, after pleasure and after honor. And God says, no, love people unconditionally. Even if they hurt you, still love them. So everything is counterintuitive. Okay? So yes, it is true. Although this is talking about souls that have died and so-called are going through some kind of a purgatory. But even here on earth, this rule still applies. Okay? So second, at around chapter 11, if you have this exact book, that would be page 11, we have this lady called Pam. So on earth, she grieved for the death of her son for 10 long years, and in the process of grieving, she was quite a bad mother to her daughter and not such a good wife to her husband, not such a good daughter to her mother. Her grief was consuming every aspect of her life, and there was some mummification. She left the son's room exactly as it was. So after she passed away and she finally made it to heaven, she was really, really longing to see Michael, which is her son. She thought Michael would be the spirit that would come forth to receive her. But no, it was her brother. So her brother tried, with great pains to explain to her that she's still very unsubstantial now. Right now, Michael wouldn't be able to see her clearly, and tried to explain to her that before you even conceive Michael, you were a creature of God. I want you to learn to love God and to accept God's love for you. To allow God into you and to love as love should be like, and that your maternal love now is thwarted because it becomes a very possessive kind of love. So of course the brother continued to explain that this kind of love is the kind of love that will drag Michael down with you to hell rather than to lose him. So it's a very warped kind of love. So there's this beautiful passage over here, which I will read to you on page 106. Everything else is good when it looks to him and bad when it turns from him. And the higher and mightier it is in the natural order, the more demoniac it will be if it rebels. It's not out of bad mice or bad fleas you make demons, but out of bad archangels. The false religion of lust is baser than the false religion of mother love or patriotism or art. But lust is less likely to be made into a religion. Okay? So this is beautiful because it says that maternal love, right, although in the natural order is beautiful and divine, so-called divine and we all put it on a pedestal, but if you do it, maternal love, from a wrong place, not from a God inspired place, not through the filter of God's love, then it becomes warped. I think a very good picture of what maternal love should be like, I think the best one that I've seen so far would be, pardon me, but the story of Mother Mary. It took me some years, and becoming a mom myself, I finally understand why that love was so great. Because it's a love that encapsulates also her love for God at the same time. I love my son, but I love God even more. So if God wills that my son has to go to a cross, I will be obedient to that. In fact, I will be at the foot of the cross. As my son is languishing away on the cross, I will endure it. So that is a very, very kind of profound kind of love. And when I was undergoing my miscarriage, that was the love that I was looking at. I want a maternal love that is through the filter of God, and it even permits my son to die if necessary, and I'll trust that God has control of him. So that is true love, and not the kind of possessive love that will devolve into a pathological grief. Okay, next up, let's talk about page 139. Okay, I like this because throughout this whole story, you'll have many examples of the souls that have been in heaven for a long time, trying to convince the souls that have been the new arrivals, the ghosts, right, the transparent souls, on why you should receive the grace of God, why you should forget about everything you know and just surrender and let God in. And yet they keep resisting and keep giving opposition. It's as if their hands are not open to receive this grace. They're shut. And it was at first just like a choice, but now it became something that's not a choice. It became a habit to be in this very closed up stance, and that's why the grace cannot enter their life, and they cannot really enjoy heaven. They cannot harden up to be a true saved spirit in heaven. Okay, so I'll read this quote. For a damned soul is nearly nothing. It is shrunk, shut up in itself. Good beats upon the damned soul incessantly as sound waves beat on the ears of the deaf. But they cannot receive it. Their fists are clenched, their teeth are clenched, their eyes are fast shut. First, they will not. In the end, they cannot open their hands for gifts, or their mouth for food, or their eyes to see. Which means that yes, it always starts as a choice, but eventually it ends like you have no choice really. You really want to open your arms, but you can't. You want to open your arms to receive the grace of God, but you just can't. You're just stuck here. But okay, all is not lost, because remember, even if you're like that, right, Jesus can pry open your arms and force you to receive the gifts. Okay, but now that when you still have free will, please just open your hands and receive God lah. Okay, so that be the end of the video today. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you enjoyed it, kindly press subscribe, share it with your friends, and press like. Thank you so much, and God bless.